This animal's coming to the surface for only a second or two.
I was walking along the line of the River Oich. The River Oich runs down into Loch Ness. And I went and I stopped and I took a photograph over it. There was a strange noise. As I looked down, there was something in the photograph.
Dodging cameras. Fleeing from sight.
Bruh.
And playing tricks on humans.
Oh my god!
The Loch Ness Monster and his strange companions have begun haunting us. And these unbelievable videos of them support my stance. So you better stay and watch the footage that shocked everyone. A man was enjoying the sunset by the lake, but something happened that made the place mysterious. Suddenly, a creature emerged from the water, something he had never believed in before. The Loch Ness Monster. It didn't fully emerge, but its long neck and head were clearly visible. He recorded it on his camera and shared it online. After that, people gave different reviews and opinions about it. Some thought it was a snake, while others believed it was indeed the Loch Ness Monster. Deceased Loch Ness. A video was shared on social media by an unknown source, showing a giant Loch Ness monster on a beach, with many people observing it. It looks like a video from the early 90s that was secretly kept by the authorities. But now, someone has uploaded it. The monster in it was much larger than the typical Loch Ness sightings we usually see. When the video went viral, people shared various opinions about it. Some people said that the authorities had been hiding this from the public, while others believed that there might still be a monster that the authorities are keeping secret. Unknown creature. While exploring the woods, a man came across a small lake, and something unexpected happened there. A strange creature emerged from the water that first looked like an albino turtle. He placed a piece of chicken in front of it to observe, thinking it might come to eat. When it came closer, he realized it wasn't a turtle because it had a long neck and didn't have a turtle shell on its body. The creature took the piece of chicken and left, but he couldn't figure out what it was. Creepy creature. One guy was out for a casual stroll along the California coast, soaking up the views, when something caught his eye down in the water. At first, he thinks it's just another fish, no big deal. But nope, guys, it's not just a fish. The thing looked eerily like a tiny mermaid. It was a baby mermaid, complete with a tiny humanoid skull and a tail, zipping through the water like it had places to be. It was so small, it was almost easy to miss. While internet folks quickly labeled the clip a hoax, the guy is still convinced he saw a real-life mermaid. And to be honest, guys, I'm convinced too. Crazy, right? Florida Beach Nessie.
Bruh.
And this is a scene that will definitely make you want to pack up and leave the beach. Some lucky beachgoers captured a clip showing what looks like a sea monster. Even from a distance, you can tell this creature is huge. Just imagine how massive it would be up close. At first, some beachgoers thought it was just a gigantic snake, but to me, this is clearly some sort of sea monster, maybe even a Loch Ness relative. I mean, who wouldn't freak out seeing something like this in the water? What do you guys think? Let's hear your thoughts. Huge crab. Back in 2006, something happened on a beach in Japan that shocked the onlookers. There was a giant crab who washed ashore. Seeing it, everyone was scared because it had long legs and a scary face, which no one had any idea why it was like that. Some called it a monster crab, while others were forced to think about what other mysterious things might be in the sea that they didn't know about. Human face fish. Back in 2019, a fisherman captured something that shocked him. He caught a fish that had a face like a human's. The moment was made even creepier by the smile on the fish's human-like face. He couldn't believe it could be real. He thought the fish might either be a ghost or the result of some scientist's experiment. He nervously released the fish back into the water. What would you do if you caught a fish like this? Let me know in the comments. Creepy cryptid. Now seriously, what kind of creature is this? A fisherman caught this bizarre being on camera, and once he uploaded the footage online, even the netizens were left scratching their heads. The clip shows a creature with a strange head and a body that looks a bit like a squid. But trust me, it's definitely not a squid. Netizens were split right down the middle. Some insisted it was an octopus, while others were nodding along with my opinion that it was something else entirely. Its true identity hasn't been confirmed yet, but let me tell you, it's seriously creepy. Whatever it is, it definitely doesn't belong on a dinner plate. Mystery in water. A man came to a lake in Argentina for fishing, but something happened that changed his plans. While he was getting his fishing gear ready, he suddenly felt a strange movement in the water. When he looked closely at the water, he saw something he had never expected. A mermaid-like creature was swimming there. He couldn't see its face properly, but the rest of its body looked exactly like a mermaid's. All of this puzzled him, so he thought it was better to leave. However, the mystery of this lake was never solved. Bizarre creature. A fisherman spotted something in Russia's Kama Lake that looked like a character from some science fictional movie. This bizarre creature ended up sitting in his boat, and surprisingly, the man wasn't scared at all. He even brought it along with him. Its legs looked like the tentacles of a crab, and it had no proper face, which made it look creepier. It was probably impossible to figure out exactly what it was. He thought it could be some kind of scientific experiment or a creature from another world. The fisherman observed it for a long time and eventually left it back in the lake. Surprisingly, this bizarre creature was never seen again. Is that Nessie? Could Nessie be back? That's the question everyone's asking after this recent video from Scotland became viral. The footage shows something long and snake-like gliding through the lake's murky waters. Honestly, it looks a lot like the other supposed sightings of Nessie that have popped up over the years. As the camera follows it, the creature's sinuous body cuts through the water, leaving soft ripples behind. Not many animals can move like that. Is it the Nessie making a grand reappearance, or is something else lurking in the deep? Only time will tell. Creature caught on camera. A few years back in July 2018, a group of friends in Puerto Rico were having the time of their lives tubing down the Isabella River. Everyone was laughing and enjoying themselves when one of them pulled out a camera to capture all the fun. And here, things took a wild turn. In the footage, something strange caught their eye. Out of nowhere, a human-like figure seemed to rise up from the water, lurking just below the surface. It was enough to make them question if they were filming a summer vacation or the next horror movie. Whatever it was, it definitely gave them a story they'll never forget. Mythical carcass. A group of friends researched the serpentine dragon and believed they would definitely find it in the middle of the woods. When they went there and searched for a long time, they found nothing. But suddenly, one of the friends spotted a strange carcass. When they looked closely, it wasn't just a long carcass. It looked exactly like a serpentine dragon. All of this puzzled them a lot because they had finally reached their ultimate goal, but it was too late. Encounter with sea serpent. Fishermen and sailors have long shared tales of a sea serpent, but this time, locals got a glimpse of the legend themselves. A group hanging out by the beach spotted something slithering in the water from afar. Suddenly, a massive, snake-like creature rose from the waves, leaving everyone in shock. They had heard the stories, sure, but seeing it in person, with those sharp teeth flashing, was a whole different kind of terrifying. The serpent swam surprisingly close to shore, and kudos to those locals for staying put. Honestly, I would have bolted at the first sight of that thing. Faceless fish. Guys, have you ever heard of the faceless fish? These deep-sea wonders are as bizarre as they sound. They have no visible eyes or even a face. On June 15th, 2017, Australian researchers made headlines when they claimed to have found this strange fish about 13,000 feet below the ocean's surface. Now here's a surprising twist. Even though they look like they've got no face, smaller specimens actually have eyes lurking beneath their skin. Yep, faceless but still keeping an eye out. Fun fact, this fish was first spotted in 1874 at a depth of 3 miles and has been studied ever since. Strange creature. On March 6, 2013, submarine camera footage shocked the entire world. Geologists exploring the Greenland Sea were in for a surprise when a strange creature with claws swam into view. Thankfully, the submarine was equipped with cameras, and they captured everything. When they played back the footage, they were stunned to see what looked like a mermaid. This looks just like the species we found in South Africa, but the submarine team had to be careful. They couldn't share the discovery with the duty officers, who even threatened legal action if they did. So, instead, they took it to the Danish authorities. And guys, there's something even more shocking that after that, Greenland immediately banned all new drilling in the area. Monster caught in net. Some fishermen from the Mediterranean Sea claimed they had caught a real-life mermaid. Let's roll the footage from the 90s and see what's up. Now, I know the blurry quality makes it hard to tell if we're looking at a mermaid or just something weird from the deep. But here's the thing that caught my eye. Those hands. They don't look like any animal's paws or fins. They've got this human-like shape, making me think this could be a mermaid. But of course, people still aren't ready to call it. Could it be the real deal or just another ocean mystery? You decide. Sea monster. A group of experts went deep down into the ocean in a submarine to explore deep-sea creatures. But something happened there that they never expected. A creature as huge as a whale was coming towards them from a distance. All of this scared them badly, and they quickly left the location. Luckily, everything was recorded by their submarine's camera. After some time, the video was shared online, and people gave various opinions about it. Some thought it was a new type of whale, while others believed it was the Japanese sea monster, the Ningen. Deep sea monster. Sea diving is not easy at all because you never know what you might encounter down there. A diver was exploring deep underwater, but he didn't realize how far down he had gone. Suddenly, he felt something unusual around him, so he decided it was time to go back. As soon as he started heading back, a giant creature, resembling the Loch Ness monster, suddenly came to attack him. The diver barely managed to save himself, and luckily returned safely from there. After all this, no one ever saw the monster again. Maybe it lives in a place that humans haven't been able to explore yet. Strange creature. Near a small town in China, people often saw a strange goat-like creature in a river that puzzled everyone. One day, everyone went to the river together to catch it and were shocked to find that the creature was stuck in a weird pose and was not alive anymore. They brought it with them and started to clean its body so that they could hand it over to the authorities afterward. No one had any idea what it was. But one thing was for sure, it was another mystery that would never be solved. Mutated river fish.
What is this fish?
Ever seen a rat swimming in water? Well, a guy did. A fisherman was casually hanging out on the dock when something strange caught his eye. There was this freaky creature at the edge, slamming its head into the wooden bridge like it was mad at the world. Its front half looked like a regular fish, but here's where it shocked the fisherman. The back half looked like a mouse, and its long snake-like tail slithered into the water, like it couldn't decide if it belonged on land or in the sea. To me, it seems like some messed up lab experiment gone wrong.
That is not a fish.
Japan swamp creature. In Japan, a group of locals spotted something seriously weird splashing around in a pond. No one had ever seen anything like it before. It was green, slimy, and the second it noticed them, it pulled a disappearing act, sinking into the water. Naturally, everyone freaked out, too scared to go after it. But this dude decided to dive right in, and after a lot of effort, he caught the creature. Turns out it was a UMA, Japan's version of a mysterious, unidentified animal. Who knows? Maybe next time it'll be Godzilla's cousin.
かなりね、危ない状態。
Monster in river. Looks like we've got a new visitor in our rivers, guys. A guy hanging out by the river noticed something odd, a strange movement in the water. Then, out of nowhere, this huge creature popped up. And yeah, it wasn't anything you'd find usually. So what on earth was it? Let's figure this out together. The guy was sure it was a river monster. And to make things even creepier, it was making this freaky breathing sound that had everyone totally spooked. Locals even chimed in with their own spooky sightings in the same river, sealing the deal. Yep, sounds like we've got ourselves a river monster. Canal monster. Now that we've explored rivers and swamps, it's time to dive into the canals because they've got their own creepy monsters too. Check out what a guy captured in one of those murky waterways. I don't know about you, but watching this footage has me seriously terrified of canals. The way that creature was moving and its massive size. For a second, I thought, is that an anaconda? But wait, an anaconda in a canal? Seems impossible, right? So what do you think it is? A giant snake? Or maybe something even weirder lurking down there? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Drop a comment. Loch Ness in pond. Finally, we've got some clear footage of Loch Ness that everyone's been dying to see. A boy was just taking a stroll with his dog near a pond when, out of nowhere, a creature straight out of Legends popped up in front of him. The scene made him scream, "It's Loch Ness!" And he wasn't wrong. The creature emerges from the water, revealing its long, serpentine neck, making it even more convincing that this might just be the famous Nessie. I mean, who else could it be? You can't help but feel the excitement. So guys, is this the proof we've all been waiting for? Mysterious creature. Beachgoers in Thailand were in for a major surprise when a strange creature washed up on the shore. It had a head that looked eerily human, hands like a frog's, and a body that left everyone scratching their heads. Locals gathered around, pointing and whispering, while locals and online spectators buzzed with wild guesses. Some thought it might be a failed science experiment gone terribly wrong, while others suspected it could be a prank or some kind of art piece created by a particularly imaginative artist. Whatever it was, one thing was for sure. This creature looked like it had stepped right out of a nightmare. People snapped photos trying to capture the bizarre sight, but deep down, everyone was just wondering, what in the world is this thing? Malaysian teeth monster. One day, what started as just another fishing trip turned into something unforgettable. When the net came up, instead of the usual catch, they pulled out a bizarre creature that left everyone speechless. This thing had a massive mouth, and its long body was a mix of eel and fish. No one could figure out exactly what it was. A freaky hybrid? A rare mutation? People are still debating. But before you get too confused, let me clear it up for you. It's actually a goby eel. These odd-looking creatures live in muddy, bottomed coastal waters, blending right into the ocean's floor. Unexpected arrival. You may have seen many types of sharks, but the one that I'm about to show you is different. A group of friends were sitting when suddenly one of them felt that a fish was coming up from the water. He thought it was just a normal fish, so he started to observe it. But then something unexpected happened. A strange shark appeared that was quite frightening due to the long spikes on its body. It swam around there for a moment and then went back into the water. No one knew why it was like that, but I think it could either be a monster shark or the result of some scientist's experiment. Loch Ness Pair. Usually, people rarely see the Loch Ness Monster, but these fishermen had seen two monsters together in a lake. When they came to a lake in Argentina for fishing, they suddenly spotted both monsters in the middle of the lake. They emerged for a few seconds and then went back into the water. Luckily, they recorded all of this on their camera and shared it online, where people gave various reviews about it. Some believed they were snakes, while others believed they were indeed the Loch Ness Monster. Surprising sea encounter. While out on a trip, a guy decided to fly his drone over the sea, just for fun. And guys, see what he captured? Totally unexpected. At first glance, it seemed like a giant fish swimming near the surface, tail splashing and all. But wait, when the creature straightened, it looked like it had a humanoid body, with a fish tail. The first thought that popped into his head: it's a mermaid! The creature swam around for a bit and then disappeared into the deep blue. Of course, the footage sparked debate. Some called it a hoax, others blamed a camera glitch, but who knows? Maybe mermaids are just camera shy. Zombie fish. A guy out on his boat spotted a fish that was anything but ordinary. I mean, take a look and decide for yourself. This fish had a face that could make you do a double take. Seriously, some netizens were claiming it had a human-like face. Others started calling it the lambhead fish, while a few skeptics insisted it was all just a hoax. Watching the quality of this clip, I'm convinced it's real. But is it really a fish? Or did we just swim into a weird art project? Whatever it is, it's definitely got us all questioning what's swimming around in those deep waters. Baby Loch Ness. You may have seen many sightings of the Loch Ness Monster, but now I will show you a baby Loch Ness. A man was passing by the lake when suddenly he saw something strange coming out of the water at the edge of the lake. Out of curiosity, he went closer and saw a baby Loch Ness that seemed like it wanted to come out of the water. He couldn't believe it because he had never seen anything like that before. He quietly observed it, but after some time, the baby Loch Ness went back into the water. The point here is that if the baby Loch Ness is there, then surely the big Loch Ness monster must be nearby too. Creepy carcass. You often find things on the beach that make the sea mysterious. A tourist was exploring a beach in Mexico when suddenly he stumbled upon something unexpected. There was a strange carcass that at first looked like normal, but when he went closer to take a look, he was shocked. This carcass was not normal at all. It didn't resemble any typical fish. It looked like the remains of a sea monster because it had strange spikes on its body that you wouldn't find on any normal fish. He was starting to believe that sea monsters really do exist, and this surely wasn't the last one. There could be more hidden inside. Mutated fish. A man was passing by a river when he saw something unusual there. When he went closer to take a look, he was shocked. There were two strange fish at the edge of the river that looked like blueberries. He observed them for a long time, but when he couldn't figure out what type of fish they were, he released them back into the water. But I did some research on it and found out that they were black oranda, also known as blackberry fish. It is a type of goldfish known for its unique appearance. It has a round body and a distinctive head growth called a wen, which looks like a cap. Nessie feeding.
Vou fazer logo sua passa.
In rivers, people often find things that make them mysterious. Something similar happened to a fisherman when he went into the river late to go fishing. He felt something swimming near his boat. Suddenly, a fish came close to his boat, so he casually dropped a small fish near it, but it didn't eat it. And then something unexpected happened. This was not a normal fish. Its glowing eyes and creepy smile scared the fisherman badly. He felt that there might be a ghost in the fish, or it was some other creature. He quickly left and never returned there fishing.
Vou fazer logo sua passa.
Creepy, strange creature. A man was walking on the beach when suddenly his eyes fell on the sea, where he noticed something unusual. There was a strange creature that seemed like it wanted to fly away, but it couldn't take off and kept falling into the water repeatedly. He couldn't understand at all what type of creature it was. He observed it for a long time, and suddenly the creature disappeared. What do you guys think about it? Let me know in the comments. River monster. Now, what I am going to show you might make you think that venom has come into the real world. A man went to the river to get water after exploring the woods, and he saw a bizarre blob-like object coming out of the river and heading towards the woods. This giant, dark, black creature was so scary that the man quickly recorded it on his camera and left the area. Later, he shared the video online, and people gave various opinions about it. Some believed it was a river monster, while others compared it to venom and thought it had now come into our real world. Lake Mystery. A man was passing by a lake, but suddenly something happened near the lake's edge that confused him. When he went closer to look, there was something strange in the water, like a huge being was coming up from the water, and just a few seconds later, a creature appeared. It didn't come completely out of the water, but half of its body was visible. It looked like it could be the Loch Ness monster. It was never found out exactly what it was, but if it was the Loch Ness monster, I hope it appears again. Hairy monster. Something strange washed up from our nearly unexplored ocean, leaving netizens more spooked about the deep waters than ever. A clip captured near the shore showed long black strands getting tossed around by the waves. Netizens went crazy, with some claiming it was the hair of a sea witch, probably looking for a good conditioner. But wait, guys, an expert came to the rescue, saying those scary strands were just marine kelp, pushed ashore by rough waves. So, no sea witch sighting today. It was just some good old seaweed drama. Alien creature.
It's flaring up too. Look at the spines on it.
Some fishermen thought they were just reeling in another catch of the day, but boy, were they in for a shock. The fish wasn't alone. Noticed right away, something was off. It looked like it had been through a blender, but the real horror kicked in when one brave guy got closer. Clinging to the fish was a creepy worm-like creature. It was probably a bobbit worm, that sneaky predator known for ambushing anything that gets too close. But the people online were quick to jump in, saying, "Nah, that's definitely a bristleworm." And you know how debates go? Everyone suddenly becomes an expert. So what do you think it really was?
It's flaring up too. Look at the spines on it.
The subscribers pick. And now, let us move on to our subscriber pick of the day. Thought to be extinct, the Loch Ness monster has made their way back to our planet. Some tourists, out for a fun boat ride, sure think so. While boating, they spotted something strange swimming not too far off. One of the girls on the boat screamed loudly.
Oh my god! No!
Because what they saw wasn't just a fish. From a distance, they managed to capture footage of a long, dark figure gliding through the water. They were convinced it was the legendary Loch Ness monster, the one we all believed had vanished for good. Now they're claiming there's even more waiting to be revealed in those mysterious waters. Could they be right? Or is it just another case of mistaken identity? Either way, it's got everyone talking about terrors that are still hiding from our very eyes. See you next time.